Well, maybe we can consider this a change of pace. The pace on the string wasn't too good, so let's see what we can do with this. Back to the phonograph. Okay, so that's the old wire. Maybe I didn't show you that. There's the old wire. So hopefully this isn't too big. Down you go. Now usually you want pretty flimsy wire in this kind of application so it doesn't interfere with the movement of the tone arm, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be any problem here at all. Just before I attach this, the real problem is this might be too heavy. So I think I need to get a scale and weigh it. Okay, our basic kitchen scale here. Grams. So hopefully you can see the, you can barely see the zero there. Okay, so we'll put her on. Oh man, 48 grams. Ah, wow. Well, you know, that's probably what it took, dragging those steel needles through the records. But we got to get this thing down to like 10 at the most, and 6 would be much better. But that's a mile from that. Well, obviously we got to fit a spring in there somehow. 48. That's pretty close to being a lathe, really. Wow. Okay, I got all kinds of springs here. Well, you know, not all kinds, really. Nothing serious, nothing serious. Lots of noise, nothing else. I have to dig a bit for my collection of springs. Okay, so now here's some springs. What the heck am I going to do with them? Let's see, usually these arms are counter, not these ones, but other arms are pulled up. See, there is a place for a spring to go, I think, right there. And there. Okay, let's put this right on. Now, yeah, that would definitely cause the spring to stretch out. It's about the right size. Good for experimenting. see what I'm doing under there. It's really awkward. See if I can give you a ringside seat here. Now, that's not what I wanted to do. I think this is going to be one of those things. Boy, I'm making you watch this torturous process here. You know, it's just that I'm doing this with my fingers, and it's kind of crazy. Let's just be a little more sane here. Yeah. I don't want to stretch this thing out too much. And I don't want that to happen either. Okay. Now, will that spring stay there long enough for us to find out if it did any good? Wow. Did it ever? Hang on. That's really pretty good. Let's measure it. 6 to 8 grams. $15. But that's up this high. It really drops off when I lower the when I lower it. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, see? That's 0. Let's say that's 20 there. Just come down. 17 there. Come down. 12 there. That's about record height. 12 to 16 coming down. 8. I think that's below record height now. 8. Let's see. Well, let's see what it feels like. I mean, I have a notion of what this is supposed to feel like, too. Let's put a record on there. Wow, there's a lot of drag in this. There's a mechanism being dragged around underneath. I can really feel it. Wow, this'll never play a record. It's gonna skip. But as for the weight, it's excellent. I'm stunned. Okay, now I don't want that spring to come flying off. Good, so I have to lock it in here. The little piece of rubber is usually how it's done. You just kind of jam it in there. So a little piece of rubber. Like a fat rubber band. Piece of a rubber washer. I think got rubber washers. Piece of insulated wire. A piece of wire insulation. A piece of wire insulation. I happen to have a piece of wire insulation. Because it's got a, it's a tube, right? So it compresses, but remains springy. That's about twice as big as it needs to be, though. Well, so much for that. It's too much anyway. See, darn it all, I vacuumed up my bench and did away with all those handy little tidbits. Wait a minute. There's another tidbit. It is actually pretty stiff. Let's try this. There we are. Now, this grippy thing, there's nothing to grip onto anymore. But it can accidentally grip onto the wire, which we don't want that to happen. This should really need to have like a bumper now, like a rubber bumper of some sort. Rubber bumper. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind because I can't, I'm not thinking of anything right offhand. We gotta do something about this though. I don't think it's right here. I think it's the mechanism. Now I got the cartridge on there, and if this thing flies once, that needle's ruined. So I'm gonna do a couple things here. Take the needle out. Okay. Far less likely to damage it if it's not in there. We'll put it right there. Okay, I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. No. But I'm memorizing where I have placed that, so I will not forget. So now we don't have to worry about this thing. Should it flop over, that it will be the end. And another thing I can do here, just do that. Okay, that's a little more. A little more. Makes it a little more. Okay, because we got to turn this around and look at the mechanism that's in here. Some old barn, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, give me one moment here, please, and I'm just going to make sure the other camera is focused when we want it. There we go. Okay. So let's look up in here. There's the mechanism. Not much to it. Let me swing the tone arm here. Of course, I tied the tone arm off. Hey, you can see my new black wire coming down through there. Okay, so this is the tone arm in rest position right now. You see it's just bumping into that arm at the bottom there. That's a switch. Switch on. And now the motor's running. The motor's running. Now, well, that's interesting. What's happened is I've moved the tone arm to a position it should never ever make it to. It should never get this far along. Well, what was that interesting little deal there? So when it backs up, catches that little hook. Oh, why would that be? Okay, so let's start it over again. So here it's at rest position. I'll pick it up. It's moving towards the edge of the record. Now it would be over the edge of the record. Playing the record, playing the record, playing the record. Okay, now it would be just about the center or the last bit of the record. The last bit the needle can track. I should put a record on here and really see it do this. And now, I don't think it would go any further than this. But if it did, it went all the way to here. That kind of keeps the tone arm from coming back. Unless you, as a person, grab it and pull it against that spring mechanism there. I don't know what is going on with that. But see that surface, those surfaces that are dragging there? Oh my God, that is what the problem is. So that's the spring-loaded switch arm pushing on the edge of this plate here. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna? We've got to reduce that. You might have to, you might have to. I don't even put my finger up there. Nothing's plugged in, so okay. That's a pretty strong spring, really. Has to move it that far. It's not a roller, right? Sure doesn't feel like a roller. That would make some sense though, wouldn't it? We'll roll along the edge of that. I'll have to get a look at it here. I can't even see the spring. Where's the spring that's doing that? I'm having a very hard time moving the camera because I'm watching it on screen and it's very confusing. So in case you're wondering why I'm just not zooming, you know. Okay, enough excuses. Let me look under there. Yeah. Okay. Is that a roller? That's the question. Where did it go? No, it doesn't look like it has any. It doesn't look like a roller at all. But so it's built. So it's built this way. It's built to have this thing skidding along the back with a towing arm, which just seems totally ludicrous by any modern standards. But there it is. I could weaken the spring if I could find it. And the spring you see there is not the spring in question. Just totally losing my. Lost it all. Where'd it go? An adjustment there. You actually hear the switch. I never heard it before. Oh no, that's that other little extendo thingy. Can I hear the switch? The spring must be inside this thing, or on the other side of it. Oh. This is like diving underwater or something. There we are. Where is the spring? It's just got to be inside this thing. Inside this. Okay. That just proved totally fruitless. I can disable it completely and install a second switch. That would be one thing to do. Oh boy! Yikes! Yikes with a capital Y. Have a look at this. Somewhat scary deal here. That looks like it's gone boom. This is the plug that carries the power to the record player. And we've already played it. So I don't know what to think of that, but I don't think it's a concern for us now, but it's something to do with the history of this player, I guess. Well, yeah, probably the next thing to do is to fit on a phono plug onto this, and then we'll try playing a record and see if it can actually pull the tone arm across. You know, maybe it can, because it's going so slowly or something. Let's see. Let's first put that phono plug on.